Howdy, music fans. I'm going to start a new series called Superstars of Country. And what better way to start that series than with Johnny Cash? So I have my Johnny Cash CDs here that I'm going to go through and show you. I by no means have even close to a complete collection, considering he released that Columbia set with 61 CDs, I think, or 63 CDs or something. And I've been pondering getting that. It's about $216 or something like that on Amazon, which is a hefty price tag. So I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. But it's his whole Columbia catalog, and I think there's some bonuses and extras and a great book and everything. But anyway, let's get started. Of course, Johnny Cash started on Sun Records with Sam Phillips. And I bought this only because it was $5, and I thought there's lots of Sun Records Johnny Cash that I probably don't have. So it's just one of these little guys, pretty cheapo set. And it's, there's volume one, and then, nothing in there to see really. Nothing to see here, folks. There's volume one, and then there's volume two. And I don't know if this is even his entire Sun output, actually, to tell you the truth. I'll look on the box and see. There's volume 3 and there's volume 4. These CDs, for what they are, oftentimes you look at sets like this and the CDs have like 10 songs on them. And these each have like 15 songs. So that's actually pretty cool, especially for a $5 set used. And then here's the booklet for it. And I imagine that the record store, they thought nobody would buy this, so there you go. He was on Sun, I believe, from something like 1955 to, I don't know, 1960 or something like that. I'm not sure. It might have been a little bit later that he stayed at Sun Records. And he was with Luther Perkins on guitar and Marshall Grant on bass, and that was his signature sound with things like I Walk the Line and Cry, Cry, Cry and Folsom Prison Blues and so many others. Where some Straight A's in Love was one that he was a big one then. He covered some Hank Williams here, it looks like. A few Hank Williams. Guess Things Happen That Way, Oh Lonesome Me, the Don Gibson song. A lot of cool stuff. Mean Eyed Cat, which he redid later with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So, some cool stuff on this, and I've listened to the whole thing, and I definitely liked it, and I'm glad I have it. It's that's where he started out, and that was where he created that incredible boom chicka boom sound that he came up with the Tennessee Three. So there you go. That's to start. Next, I have another little box set, and that is the Essential Johnny Cash 1955 to 1983 Columbia Country Classics. So this has some Sun material on it. They must have bought the rights or something, but this is basically Columbia material. So this set comes out like that, and then it's just a little, and I'm sure this was done, I think I've seen it released as a long box edition also. But this is the one that I have. I've had it forever, and it is a wonderful set. Another nice booklet to go along with it with lots of great info. Of course, there's no shortage of books and movies on Johnny Cash, documentaries and PBS specials and the like, DVDs. And so there is the Essential Johnny Cash 1955 to 1983. A lot of great stuff on this. There's the front, and then there is the back. Next, we go to we make a big jump here into the Columbia collection. This is called Ragged Old Flag, and I believe it really is one of his greats. This album is fantastic, and it shows that he just kept squeezing more and more out of that signature sound and kept getting good songs out of it. It's just amazing. The songs are Ragged Old Flag, Don't Go Near the Water, All I Do Is Drive, Southern Comfort, King of the Hill. These are all so good. Pie in the Sky, Lonesome to the Bone, While I've Got It on My Mind, Good Morning Friend, I'm a Worried Man, Please Don't Let Me Out, and What on Earth Will You Do, for Heaven's Sake. And Ragged Old Flag, as I recall, is a spoken word song. I think there's music behind it. It's been a while since I've listened to this album, but this is just a fantastic record. It's got some real upbeat country shuffles, and it's got some, some more slower tempo, pretty country songs, but it's just really, I think it's one of his best albums for that time period. Love this album. All right, now this one is one that I just found in the record store, and I didn't know where it came from. And of course, I started, sometime later, maybe a year or more, seeing these videos on people doing the videos on the Johnny Cash Columbia set that I talked about earlier, the one with 60 plus CDs, and this is from that. So it's just called Man in Black, and I've picked it up just because it was 3 for $10 or whatever, and it's great. It's a good album. I don't know it terribly well or remember it well, but I did listen to it when I bought it, and I liked it. And it's got these are little replicas, of the actual album, as you probably could predict. And so everything's really small. The preacher Jesse said, with Billy Graham, interesting. Orphan of the Road, you got a new light shining in your eyes. If Not for Love, Man in Black, which is a great song. Singing Vietnam Blues, another great song. Those are both on this set. Ned Kelly, oh, interesting. Look for Me with June Carter Cash. Dear Mrs. and I Talk to Jesus Every Day with June Carter Cash. So I don't know if Ned Kelly was in the soundtrack to the movie that starred Mick Jagger, and Waylon Jennings did a lot of the soundtrack to that, but that's something to look up maybe. Anyway, this is another one, and then this one I just have a burn of, but it is a great album. It's called John R. Cash. Great record. I'll read the songs on it. I think I had it out on vinyl, and I could never find it on CD. My Old Kentucky Home, Hard Times Coming, The Lady Came from Baltimore, Lonesome to the Bone, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. He does some odd covers sometimes. Clean Your Own Table. They all country artists seem to. Jesus Was Our Savior, Cotton Was Our King, Reason to Believe, Cocaine Carolina, Smoky Factory Blues. And that Reason to Believe, I'm not sure what that is. I know Rod Stewart does a song called Reason to Believe, and so does Bruce Springsteen. I know it's not that, although he does cover Bruce Springsteen on other albums. But it might be the Rod Stewart song, or it might be a totally different song. I have a feeling it's a totally different song. Johnny Cash is another one of these guys that started out writing a lot of songs, and then that dropped off, and he started just doing songwriter songs and covers and things. Okay, so this is Johnny Cash is Coming to Town / Boom Chicka Boom 2-on-1. I've shown this when I showed my Mercury Sessions box set, probably. This is really, these two albums are great, and I was for his sound changing and becoming more 80s, he still really nails it, and still they're great songs. I think he writes a few of them. Plenty of covers on these. I think he does an Elvis Costello song, and we'll see who else. But both these albums are just great. I think he really kept going well, even though his popularity lagged in the 80s, as you all know. If you know Johnny Cash, I mean, maybe you don't know. I shouldn't assume. Yeah, The Big Light is an Elvis Costello song, but then The Ballad of Barbara is one of his. I'd Rather Have You is one of his. Those are great. Let Him Roll is the Guy Clark song. That's a really great song. The Night Hank Williams Came to Town is pretty hilarious. That's looks like a songwriter's song, not his. Merle Travis, 16 Tons, he does. Letter from Home, W. Leo Daniel and the Light Crust Doughboys. And then Heavy Metal, Don't Mean Rock and Roll to Me. It's another Guy Clark. And My Ship Will Sail, Alan Reynolds. So he writes a couple of songs on this one. And same with this one, a Backstage Pass. That's another funny song. It's great. Cats in the Cradle, the Harry Chapin song. Farmer's Almanac, another original, Don't Go Near the Water, which he did on that Ragged Old Flag album. Family Bible. And then Harley is a pretty fun song. I Love You, I Love You. Harley's about like a really mean, nasty boss, and what he does when he finally gets out of the job with him, when he retires or whatever and gets his pension. I Love You is a really good one. That's his also. Hidden Shames, another Elvis Costello. Monteagle Mountain, that is a really great song. It's a sad story of I think that's the one I'm thinking of. A sad story of driving kind of like Phantom 309, where the truck driver saves somebody's life and giving his own, something like that. That's One You Owe Me is another one that's pretty kind of silly, fun, cool song. That might even be a duet with Waylon Jennings. I'm not sure. Anyway, I was impressed with both of these albums. People talk about his 80s sound and they bash it, but I think he still had it and still was doing great. So this is that box set that I did a video on already by itself, the Mercury recordings, the years, God, I can barely see anything, the complete Mercury recordings from 1986 to 1991. And I'll just really quickly, I'm not going to go through it all again like I did before. There's the booklet. And I listened to all of this recently, and boy, class of 55, this has Carl Perkins and Roy Orbison on it, and Jerry Lee Lewis, of course. Really good stuff. Johnny Cash is Coming to Town. That's one of the ones I just showed you. Yeah, and then Water from the Wells of Home, another good one. And this one I had is on cassette as a kid. The classic Cash, his redoing all of his older songs. And then this is the Hall of Fame series, which had outtakes from that classic Cash. It's also really good. Boom Chicka Boom is the other one on that. 2 for 1 that I showed you. Yeah. And then last is The Mystery of Life, and that's another great one. So again, I went over all that in that video where I went over this in detail, but really happy with this set. So happy they re-released all of this stuff and remastered it. Next, my collection skips all the way up to 1994. I guess it's not that far up. I think that's the next thing he did. And that's when Rick Rubin approached him, which is just a wonderful story. And they, had discussions about what he wanted to do he knew that Johnny Cash wasn't selling and he wasn't having a lot of success. And Johnny Cash made that very clear. And he told him, I just want to record you with your guitar, just sitting around singing songs. And you can pick the songs. And of course, Rick Rubin also brought songs to him. And what a smash this series ended up becoming. It started out with Cash, or I guess it's called American Recordings, the first one. And some beautiful covers on here. And if you're familiar with this album, which this is really, you could call it a comeback, honestly. He really started getting a younger audience with this. There's all the handwritten, that's pretty cool. He started getting a younger audience with this album. And little did we know when this album came out that we were in store for a enormous wealth of material to come after it that he continued making with Rick Rubin. So that's the first one. It has Bird on a Wire, the Leonard Cohen song, and Delia's Gone, the old traditional, Let the Train Whistle Blow, The Beast in Me, 13, the Nine Inch Nails song, I think, or that guy from Nine Inch Nails, Tennessee Stud, the old traditional that Doc Watson does, Down There by the Train, Redemption Like a Soldier, The Man Who Couldn't Cry. That's a pretty cool song. Why Me Lord, Drive On, The Beast in Me. Just phenomenal album, and it's just him and guitar. And there was also some great outtakes on bootlegs that I have that came out of this that I don't think came out in any other form. Some of them probably did, but anyway, next is Unchained, and this is when he teams up with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers as his band. And wow, what a freaking fantastic album this is. Tom Petty has said at times that he thinks this is the best Heartbreakers album there is. And they just really nail it. They show what diversity they have and what a great band they are with playing these songs and really nailing it, really killing these songs. Really good band. This one has Hurt, I think, right? Isn't that the one with Hurt? And that was that Nine Inch Nails guy's song, I think. That's later, I guess. Rusty Cage is an interesting one that he didn't think would really work, and boy, does it. Sea of Heartbreak and Rowboat and Country Boys, one of his older songs. It just goes on and on. Mean-Eyed Cat's on this. Southern Accents, the Tom Petty song. I Never Picked Cotton, and I've Been Everywhere, the old Hank Snow song. Just fantastic album. Next I have Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson together doing one of these Storytellers albums, and they VH1 Storytellers, and this is considered to be in the American Recordings collection. It was released on American Recordings by Rick Rubin, so this is part of that collection. And it came in succession there after Unchained. And if you're familiar with this series, you know, Tom Petty did one of these series, speaking of Tom Petty, and lots of other people have done these series, where they sit around and they talk about the songs, and then they play them. And it's also kind of an unplugged oftentimes. This one was, I believe it was just them sitting around with guitars. There might have been a little bit of a band. Ghost Riders in the Sky, Worried Man, Family Bible, Don't Take Your Guns to Town, Funny How Time Slips Away, Flesh and Blood, Crazy, Unchained, Nightlife, Drive On, Me and Paul, I Still Miss Someone, Always on My Mind, Folsom Prison Blues, and On the Road Again. So they just swap off doing songs and talking about them. I don't recall if they sing on each other's songs, but I'm going to guess that they do, because they were great friends and, you know, played in a band together, the Highwaymen, and sang together on other stuff. So. Okay, this next one is Solitary Man, and this is called American 3, Solitary Man. And this one has I Won't Back Down, another Tom Petty song, and Solitary Man, and then One is another one of those oddball ones that he still makes really work well. I'm Leaving Now, Country Trash, I think that's one of his older songs from the 70s maybe. Anyway, Wayfaring Stranger, that's an old traditional that a lot of people have done. So, this is, well, I guess this folds out. I haven't gone through some of this in so long. But boy, when this stuff came out, I listened to it and listened to it and listened to it over and over and over. I was enthralled with these records, these albums. I just thought they were so good. So there's the front and there's the back. Yeah, it's a nice poster. Yeah, what a comeback for him after being dropped by Columbia or leaving Columbia and being picked up by Rick Rubin and getting all the accolades, and some of these won Grammys, and he just continued to crank them out, and people continued to buy him, and he continued to grow his fan base with younger people. The Man Comes Around, this is number 4, American 4, The Man Comes Around. And this one is just another one. I believe there's a full band on a lot of these. They're not like that first one. The first one, American Recordings, I believe is the only one that is just him and guitar. As far as these go, until we get to the Monster unreleased, the box set of stuff that Rick Rubin released after he passed away. So this has The Man Comes Around. This one has Hurt. Give My Love to Rose, another one of his older songs. Bridge Over Troubled Waters, the Simon and Garfunkel. Danny Boy. Desperado, interesting. First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. And he really, you'd think these might be weird, but he does a great job. Tom Waits' Personal Jesus. Streets of Laredo, that's a classic. So, more great stuff. Okay, now we have... I had to sneeze, so I had to pause. Sorry about that. Now this is 100 Highways, American 5. And they all have this very similar artwork, and these black and white photographs. This one, let's see, what do I remember from here? Oh, God's Gonna Cut You Down. That's a pretty crazy song. Like the 309. Yeah, these are all great. Love's Been Good to Me, I Came to Believe, On the Evening Train, Further On Up the Road, If You Could Read My Mind, Four Strong Winds, the Neil Young tune. I'm Free from the Chain Gang Now. So, yeah, this stuff, they just sat around and played songs, and then put them on record and released them. And what a way to go. What a great send-off for him, ending the way he ended his life as far as musically. Then this came out after he passed away. This is the Monster Unearthed 5 CD, I believe, 5 CD box set that came out of even more of these recordings from all of these 5 or 6 albums. Comes with this it's kind of like a hand, it's like a woven linen cover, which is a little bit of a pain because it really attracts dust and then it gets a little beat up easily, but it's still a beautiful, beautiful set. Can't say enough about this set. The music on it. This nice booklet has, I believe, some replicas of handwritten things, and then it's also got lots of text and pictures and him talking about the songs. And there's that iconic picture of him saying, "Thanks, Nashville, for supporting me the way you did or didn't." I've got a poster of that framed in the other room. So I thought there was some handwritten lyric replicas in this, or handwritten something in here. Maybe I'm remembering that incorrectly. And the CDs just go in here like this. And there's another booklet that has, I guess that's the information. Yeah, that's the track listing of each CD is in here in this little booklet. A little bit hard to manipulate without damaging it. Got to be careful with it. And then you open it up, and each of these CDs, I believe, is named just like the other ones. So the first one is called "Who's Gonna Cry." The next one is "Trouble in Mind." And then "Redemption Songs." He does the Bob Marley one. "My Mother's Hymn Book," and "Best of Cash on American." So, and these all look the same as the others. I'll take one out, but a lot of really interesting stuff. And he does do some stuff with Tom Petty on one or two songs on here. I think it even says with Tom Petty in the booklet here. Which one is it? I don't remember. Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I know Tom Petty's on this, and I'm sure the Heartbreakers are probably on it too. And then, Billy Gibbons is on it too, or he's on the bootleg I have. I think he's on this as well. So lots and lots and lots of great stuff in here. Again, mostly covers and old traditionals and old country, and I'm sure there's some of his songs. There's a couple Billy Joe Shaver songs in here. Just endless selection array of great performances by Johnny Cash. This does have a lot more of just him and guitar as well, like that first one. Now this is interesting. It's just a little booklet that I got. I got a 3 CD set of Johnny Cash. It came in a tin, and I really didn't like it much. It was just, stuff that I had already repeated. But this book was really cool, and I think I got rid of the set and kept the booklet. I think that's the story that goes with this. And then after he died, also, they re-released... Oh, no, we're not there yet. Sorry. This is another one, Ain't No Grave. So this is the last one that finally came out of the American recordings. So you would think that they are done now, but who knows, right? Who knows? You never seem to know. This has Ain't No Grave, which is great. Redemption Day, For the Good Times, I, Corinthians 15:55, Can't Help But Wonder Where I'm Bound. That's a great one. Satisfied Mind, I Don't Hurt Anymore. Cool Water is a great one. Hank Williams did that. Last Night I Had the Strangest Dream, and Alo Ao. So this is another one of these. They just keep coming. And last, they re-released this Out Among the Stars. Or I'm sorry, they didn't re-release it. This, I think, was an album that was shelved and never actually did come out. That was from 74 or 75 or something like that. Original, yeah, I'd have to read the booklet, but here's the inside of this one. And this is a really nice album. There's some great songs in here. And let's see, yeah, there's a picture of Waylon, and it looks like June and Johnny there in the middle, in the gatefold. Very nice. More pictures of Johnny. Okay, songs, Out Among the Stars, and then Baby Ride Easy, and She Used to Love Me a Lot, and then After All, I'm Moving On. Hank Snow does that. If I Told You Who It Was, Call Your Mother, that's a Johnny Cash tune. I Drove Her Out of My Mind, and Tennessee, Rock and Roll Shoes, Don't You Think It's Come Our Time, and I Came to Believe. Bonus track, She Used to Love Me a Lot again. I forget who had a big, not a big hit, but did that song that kind of is the known version. But I believe there are some guest stars on this. I believe Waylon's on it. That would make sense because that's his picture there in the middle. I think on the back it tells us duet with June Carter Cash. Okay, I'm Moving On is the one with Waylon, and then there's a couple with June on there. So that does it, folks. This is video number 1. I'm thinking I'm going to release these on Thursday mornings at 8. So it'll be a couple days after my Unsung Heroes videos come out. Yeah, Out Among the Stars. This is the last one. That's all my Johnny Cash. And if I do get the Columbia box set, I will do a video on that too, like others have. And thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear your comments on Johnny Cash and your thoughts and any recommendations of albums I've missed, especially from that Columbia period. And please like and subscribe and comment. All right, thanks so much. Have a good day.